Everyone is telling you to start a podcast if you want to grow a business. And this is the worst advice you'll ever hear if you want to scale your business with YouTube. And I can guarantee you there is a better way to generate qualified leads, get better conversions, and build a profitable personal brand. In this video, I'm going to break down the reasons why a podcast fails to get you clients, and then I'm going to show you what you need to do instead. Let's get into it. Why your podcast won't get you any clients? So reason number one, nobody can find your podcasts. YouTube isn't a podcast platform. On Spotify or other platforms made for podcasts, it may work, because those viewers who goes on Spotify and those platforms are actually looking for podcasts. Where on YouTube, most people are looking for 10 to 15 minute video that are either educational or entertainment. That way, you know what kind of content you need to make on YouTube to be able to succeed, because podcasts aren't exactly optimized for how YouTube works. To find your podcast, someone has to already know your name or to go searching for it. That means a podcast only reaches people you already reach somewhere else. IG, Twitter, LinkedIn, ads, you name it. All of these other platforms that someone can search you up and find you. That way, they have a kind of a reason to even search you up and even have the interest to watch your podcasts. Every episode lives on its own with no journey between them, no binge watching effect. This is where YouTube is so powerful, because you can watch one video, then go to the second one, then go to the third, and then go to the fourth, and before you know it, you already watched 5 different videos. A listener can binge 10 hours and still have no idea what you sell or why you should care in the first place. And you may be asking, why is that? First of all, because you aren't a guest. Now, being a guest on a podcast, it's super powerful. This is one of the best ways to actually leverage someone else's authority and audience and follow them to your own page. But since you're the host, you won't be able to get any results. Think about it, you're there to just simply ask questions. You aren't there to pre-handle any objections, create any kind of assets that you can use in the future. You aren't there to shift LinkedIn beliefs or answer any FAQs. You're there to make sure that the convo actually flows naturally and the podcast is enjoyable for viewers. So I had time and pulled up a few podcasts that I randomly found. These podcasts aren't optimized for how YouTube works. First of all, there isn't a optimized title and thumbnail, which is the packaging. This is what makes YouTube different. So if you don't optimize that, you're just wasting your time as a business owner. And you can see these videos barely get any views, like 200 views, 5 views, 2 views, 150 views, 480, 1k views, 300 views. It just doesn't make sense. You're just putting so much time into this podcast, but you're not getting anything out of it. Reason number two, listeners are unbiased. People listen to podcasts while driving, at the gym, or doing the dishes, and they're distracted and nowhere near ready to take action. I never sit down for 1 to 2 hours to just watch a podcast. I actually am doing something else and multitasking, watching that podcast. And this is why it's so important to think about it, because people aren't immersed in what you're trying to teach them or what you're trying to sell them. You can have a great conversation and still never move a single person towards a sale. Reason number three, nobody knows you yet. The podcasts that actually grow do it on the back of recognizable guests. You either invite people that your niche already knows or follows, or you're already a known face in your niche. If you're not, you cannot pull big guests, and without them, there is no podcast. Again, you're just inviting people. If I go back to earlier, you can see that this podcast barely get any views because they invite random people, and this doesn't have a personal brand that can actually move people to watch these videos. Nobody is clicking on a video without a clear value proposition. If your videos aren't entertainment or educational, nobody will actually sit through a 1 to 2 hour podcast if they don't know what they will get from this video. So again, make sure when you're creating podcasts, you need to be able to kind of justify it for the viewer to click on that video and again, spend enough time with you to make a buying decision with you. Not only that, most of the biggest podcasts that you always see always invite the biggest names. They have insanely big production budgets and they're just in these big studios with the fancy microphones, with the insane lighting. And this again is part of the process to make a nice podcast that will make people watch it. If you cannot do that, you're just wasting your time. Reason number four, podcast is a skill. Again, being a podcaster, you can call it, or someone who actually knows how to navigate a podcast is a skill. A good podcast lives or dies on the energy and flow. If you cannot keep up the convo going, the podcast will just die. You have to host like a pro, keep up the pace, and stop it from dragging or letting the convo die. The real value is in the clippable moments, but what are the odds someone just starting out can pull it off from day one? A podcast to be profitable or to even make you any money or have a positive ROI is to be able to repurpose that content into short form pieces or text-based content. If you don't have the right team to actually clip those moments, post them, edit them, again, you're not getting the full value from a podcast. And again, it's too much work from your side and also your team members. Think about it, going through the whole podcast, picking moments, editing them, posting them, and just iterating this whole process takes way too much time. Reason number five, that time and money adds up fast. The gear, the editing, managing team members adds up quickly. You're often spending thousands of dollars before seeing results, and then add the hours of recording, prepping, and chasing guests every single week to be able to book that studio and see if you can actually make it on the podcast. All that goes out before anything comes back in. Again, you're putting way too much energy and effort into something that barely has any ROI in the long term. funnel. If you don't want to waste thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours on a podcast that barely has any ROI, and you'd rather build a system that books you consistent qualified sales calls from YouTube, click the first link in the description to book a call with me. But before we do that, let me show you what you need to do instead. So first, you need to treat YouTube as a sales funnel and kind of a ecosystem. And this is super important because the moment YouTube understands who you're trying to reach with the way you speak in your videos, the thumbnails and titles, and basically who actually clicks on those videos, you're gonna build an audience of viewers, and YouTube is gonna start pushing those videos to the same demographic and people that have the same interests. It's a salesperson that works 24/7 while you sleep. You post one video and let it compound for months. You can solve a specific problem that your ICP is searching for in a single 10 to 15-minute video. Think about it, you make specific videos for specific problems and desires with your ideal avatar. Now you're not making a 2-hour podcast without any direction. You're making specific videos for specific things that your ICP is currently experiencing. Fourth, this is a SEO optimized content that ranks on Google. YouTube is owned by Google. If you rank on YouTube, you will rank on Google. And since YouTube is the second biggest search engine, which means when someone has a problem, he's gonna go on YouTube and search that exact problem and look for solutions. So this is why it's so important to be able to rank on YouTube. And then each video stacks and compounds on the last one. This is the most important part. You need to be creating an ecosystem because each single video is made to play into each other. If someone watches one video, there's a big chance he's gonna go and watch a second video, a third video, a fourth video, and he's gonna come into this whole flywheel where he's just binge watching your videos before he knows it. And this is how you actually make people watch your content and go from someone who doesn't know you to someone who is ready to buy from you. Each video can prehand objections, shift limiting beliefs, and answer FAQs before a prospect even shows up on the call. Every video has an agenda. This is super important. Every single video is made to be able to shorten that sales cycle. And for someone to make a buying decision, there needs to occur a sales cycle. Without it, nobody will be able to binge watch your content and actually make a buying decision with you. They need to spend time with you to make a buying decision. You need to remember that. And with each single video, if you know how to script those videos and position them in the market, you can do all of that while you just sit down and record videos for 30 minutes. For example, here are a few videos that we recently did for our clients. This one video is posted 170 days ago. And that video got over 8K views, 915 hours of watch time, and this video never stopped growing. As you can see, it's just going up and up and up. This video will never die, right? This is what we mean an evergreen asset. That is collecting digital real estate. That's it. You're collecting rent every single month. Another video, 130 days. This video is just going up and up and up. Again, 60 days. This video is going up and up and up. These videos will never stop growing, where if you compare it to short form content or text-based content, they just die off like 48 to 72 hours. And what I mean by SEO optimized content is videos that are being found by YouTube search. If you think about it, someone took the time to open YouTube, open the search tab, and actually search up his exact problem that he's currently experiencing, which means he's pretty much to make a buying decision with you because he's looking for solutions. He's problem aware, but he doesn't know that there are solutions, and your service is the solution. Now that you know how to position your channel properly, you need to understand what kind of videos you need to make. So first of all, to explain it simply, you need to be using that trifecta system. You have 3 types of videos that you need to make: top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel content. This is the 3 types of content that we do for our clients to be able to get results from YouTube. To make it easier for you, here's a diagram. So first of all, we have the top of the funnel, where the whole idea, these are broad topics your ICP is already searching for. Example, how to start a business in 2026. So these are mostly how-to videos that are basically packaged in a way to appeal to your ICP's biggest fears, desires, or problems. And they're just looking how to start a business, how to fix XYZ problem, and so on. That is the main idea. Get as much eyeballs as possible. You don't want anything else. Just get people in your funnel. Then you can just funnel them to the middle of the funnel videos. These are videos that prove your expertise, knowledge, if someone even can trust you in the first place. Example, why you must start a business in 2026. Goal is to nurture, educate, and build enough trust before every single sales call. These are the videos that are able to nurture, educate, and eventually convert those viewers into buyers. And finally, these are the money makers, your bottom of the funnel videos, where we see the biggest conversion for our clients. These are any case studies and client interviews. They're made with a whole idea to show results and prove that you can actually achieve outcomes for your clients. Example, how I helped James start his business. Goal is to move warm viewers into book calls. Think about it. Your viewer watches this video of James being in his current situation. He was there, right? But now, with your help, he's making $10,000, $20,000. He basically achieved your viewer's desired outcome. And this is how one video can sell your program, or you just make a case study. That's it. The whole idea is you want your prospects or the people that you helped or your clients to sell the program for you. Now you know how to turn YouTube into an ecosystem. You need to understand how to ideate these videos. So first of all, you can use the outlier ideation method. So what exactly is the outlier ideation method? The whole idea is to see what is happening inside of your niche and outside of your niche in terms of titles, thumbnails, topics, what exactly is resonating with your ICP's desires, fears, and motivators, and how you can take those videos ideas and mix it with your competitive advantage. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to look for videos that have 1 to 10 subs ratio. If the channel has 100 subs, you should be looking for videos with 1000 views. This is 1 to 10 subs to views ratio. The video must be a 10x outlier compared to the channel's average views. So ideally, this video needs to perform 10 times better than the channel's average views. This is what an outlier is. It needs to be posted in the last 3 to 6 months, anything older and you've likely missed the wave. Is this something that I can actually recreate with my knowledge and skill set, and how can I weave my competitive advantage into this concept? How can you make this something different or give a reason for the viewer to click on this video because this is you and about your story and your results? And is the outlier relevant to my niche or transferable to it? If you cannot copy it, just don't do it, skip to it and move on, that's it. And the second way is to take your service and break it down into buckets. So for example, we can use a YouTube agency like I am. So first idea that I'm basically offering for my clients is how to make YouTube video ideas, right? Now this is a video idea. Second, how to make thumbnails. Again, how to make thumbnails is another thing that I'm offering. How to write a YouTube script, how to create a YouTube sales funnel, and how to find video outliers. And that way you can just break down all your services and make video for each single one. The third way is to look at your sales calls. This is the gold mine. This is where actually you start seeing those hyper qualified viewers come into your funnel, and now you're not making content based on whatever you like or whatever you think is going to work. You're taking data from the people that are going to buy from you, basically the market. So in simple words, this is just supply and demand. How many people are having this problem and how can make video about that? And now you can just make that video and you know that this video will resonate with your ICP. How you can do that is you need to ideally look for any pains, desires, fears, motivators, FAQs, limiting beliefs that you always have to handle on every single sales call, and you always hear about them. So now you know that this video idea is going to do well because you have a big demand, but you don't have supply for it. Now you need to understand how to structure the videos. First, you have the hook, then you have the body, and then you have the outro. For the hook, you need to do 3 simple things. First thing that you need to do in the hook is explain who you are and why I should listen to you in the first place. Second thing is what I'm about to get from watching this video. What is the outcome, what I'm gonna get from this, and what is the value proposition from this video. Third, what is the plan for this video, what I'm gonna get, and how is the whole video structured, and is this even worth my time to actually spend 10 to 15 minutes watching this. Then you have the body. For the body, remember, never script the body word for word. This is the biggest mistake that you can do, trying to do videos word for word. Think about it, the more you do word for word, the more unauthentic you sound, and people are actually starting to catch up to this. You only need to do bullet points. That way, with bullet points, you will be able to stay as authentic as possible and just talk about the points that you know how to talk about. And if you're a real expert, you should be able to do that, right? If you spend years of doing that, it should be pretty easy for you to talk about these concepts or ideas in the video. Then you have the outro. Now, the outro is the most important part for conversions. You need to remember this. This needs to be a quick recap of the video. Then you need to funnel all those viewers to a CTA. And you just need to have a quick CTA to your offer. A free webinar, book a call, get your free assets, free training, or even message you a certain word. The whole idea is to just make sure that you funnel all those viewers to your offer. Then, if they're still not ready to make a buying decision with you and buy your stuff, you need to be able to funnel them to another recent video on your channel. This is where the binge watching effect actually takes place. This is where you funnel all those viewers to another recent video. And that video needs to tap into a problem that they may experience after watching this video. Again, this is a relevant video to the topic. Then you have the CTAs. For the CTAs, there are 3 CTAs that you need to have in a video. One at the middle of CTA, which needs to be around in the 30% of the video. This is where you actually see a big drop in attention after the 30% mark of the video, which means you need to at least make sure that you let know the viewers that we sell something. And then you have 2 at the auto. This is super important. First, again, I broke it down, a CTA to your offer, another one to another recent video on your channel. That is exactly what podcasts won't get you clients and what you need to do instead. If you want us to build your YouTube sales funnel where you handle the ideation, editing, thumbnails, and posting while you just record for 30 minutes per week, click the first link in the description to book a call with me. Thanks for watching, and you want to see why YouTube is an easy mode for business owners in 2026? Click this video right here.